It's Chris Fire.
It's Chris Bowling.
DB, we are in part 4 of challenges facing the C-suite. Who are we talking about today? Which role?
Ooh, man, this is a tough role. HR.
The Human Resources Director.
Wow.
And you think back to when an HR director had what we would consider to be a normal day in early March 2020 or even February. Took a vacation, got away somewhere sunny, and then COVID hit, and here we are.
Yeah, I mean,
it has not slowed down.
Yeah, why don't you recap some of the things that we've talked about that this HR department has had to deal with since February, March of 2020?
I think even coming into March of 2020, a lot of HR departments were understaffed.
Oh, yes.
Companies had grown, and you had somebody trying to manage all different components of HR, hiring, recruiting, benefits, employee development, administrative. And then you added in all of the COVID challenges with new acts, new bills, leaves, furloughs, work from home, all the testing protocol that were out there. We get everybody somewhat back in 2022, and we're still dealing with the work from home versus in office, but then wages have escalated, getting employees to show up for their shifts, and even good employees, making sure that they're still valued when we're hiring so many new employees at a higher wage. How do we not lose our good employees who have been loyal to us and didn't start at that higher wage? And then just the lack of time, I think, for an HR director, an HR department to spend making better employees still hasn't, I guess, resolved. They're still struggling to spend time. The best departments are helping their employees be better and helping develop a culture that is fairly self-sufficient in a good way. And without that time, they're just stuck in an administrative burden is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, and I think, you and I just talked about culture, right? Because we want our employees to look at working for AssuredPartners other than just a job, right? Yes. There has to be a connection beyond just I get a paycheck once a month. And I believe the conversations you and I have had with those HR directors recently is just what you said, bringing back that culture.
Yes.
And then, how do we get out of, well, this is just a paycheck, job. But, what we're hearing, we started at CEO, and the challenges and kind of their direction, that they're pushing down into that CFO, into this HR role is very, it's going to be difficult. But I still believe, Chris, that if we can pull some of that day-to-day administration off of that HR plate,
yes,
it can at least give them some time to focus on what the CEO is expecting and the CFO is expecting. And I think that is the opportunity. You and I have talked about you always say this better than me, but it's that whole call center, right?
Yes.
How do you just take the phone call away from HR of my daughter went to college, she needs an ID card.
Yes.
Or, my wife went to the dentist, they said she doesn't have insurance.
Because that's a project of, contacting us, going through all of that. We contact the carrier, we do all of that work. But yes, we are putting that in place, that customer service center for the employees to go to directly, so that it doesn't take HR out of the employee relationship, but it takes the administrative burden off their plate.
Yeah.
And I think that's one. I also look at it, number two, we've talked about just putting in a benefits administration system. And there's a lot of employers that still are doing things on paper. And it's not just electing benefits, but a lot of processes on paper. But if we can consolidate that to a single system, maybe our team helps manage a lot of that day-to-day input. But that, again, is time off of the HR schedule that can now be spent with employees as opposed to handling the administrative side.
Yeah, they are so much more valuable than I need an ID card, or this isn't working, or I have a question about a claim, or I have a question on why do I owe what I owe. They're so much more valuable than that, what I would call blocking and tackling, right? I mean, that's the day-to-day business of offering benefits. Get out of that role, because you can find a way to offload that. And it's not going to cost a whole lot of money to do that,
Well, we know change is not going to slow down, and have no idea what the second half of 2022 holds. But I think our best performing HR teams have been really quick to adapt to change in the last couple of years. And we also have realized that those best HR departments aren't comfortable doing things the way that they've always done. You and I are going to begin working with a new client here in the next month, that a new HR director came in and saw what was done for the last 25 years with the predecessor and said, this isn't going to work. This doesn't fit. We were fortunate enough now to be selected to help with the benefit strategy and some of the administration, but this HR director is focused on change and focused on, we have to be better as a company because these old methods don't work. And so I think that is a strength of so many HR departments, is they've been able to adapt. They need a break, but they've been able to adapt, and they've been able to push change that makes sense to the CFO financially and makes sense to the CEO for the long-term health of that company. And again, this I guess 4-part series is all about 4 parts. It's us working with the CEO, us working with the CFO, and with the HR director. And if that's all in sync, these companies are going to do so much better at their growth, their profitability, their retention of employees. And it's fun when all of that is working correctly.
Agree. And you know what? We could have had a part 5, which is the employee.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Hey, all this is about one thing, right?
Yes. Yeah.
The benefits that we offer to our employees that are busting their tail.
Yeah.
Keep our businesses open, and we cannot thank them enough for all of the hard work, and dealing with the change and dealing with some frustrations from time to time and just wanting this to be over.
Yeah.
And man,
that's a good point. If we didn't have employees, we wouldn't have employee benefit programs, and we wouldn't have a job, sir. So I'm very thankful for the employees. Hiring them, let's keep them employed, because that is the essence of what we're doing for these companies, is making it a place that employees want to work so that the company can grow. But yes, that's such a key component. I hear another series coming up, CV, maybe about what it's like to be an employee today. I think we could run with that one.
We could run with that one, yeah. And if we were brave, we'd put some of our employees on this Zoom call as well and ask them, because we get, which we do surveys and we do everything else, but you always question, are we really getting the full honesty, through a survey? But yeah, HR departments, we value you guys so much, because it's amazing what you've gone through. I truly believe in any company, you have had to adapt more than any other part of that C-suite. It's been unbelievably challenging. So, we'll always end it the same way. HR people, now's your time.
Yes. Tell us we got it right. Tell us what we missed. Tell us what we should be asking as we're talking with your role in different companies. How do we better support you? So, Chris, has been a fun series. I've enjoyed talking through all of these, and we'll see what changes are ahead.
Me too. Thank you for all your help.
All right. Talk soon. Thanks, CB.